what type of gods there were. More like hero-based gods. I mean, Thor was literally based from Nordic mythology as well, which kind of makes sense. You would have a weapon this time around not being chained. Oh, they call them something. I sound like an asshole for not knowing that. But this time around, he just has something that, repels back to him. Kind of like Thor.
Right. Got it.
So, yeah, that's the type of mythology I'm talking about. Versus Greek mythology, we all know of fucking Hades, Zeus, Hercules.
Hercules.
But I did love the idea of the Titans from the first series. I hope they have something similar. I'm looking forward to just the mythology in this. Either way, we haven't played the game, so we can't talk too much about it. But everything we've seen looks great. Hopefully we've talked enough to get people to at least try it out. Although next week, if I'm like, this game is fucking terrible, then I'm gonna feel bad about doing what we just did. But I don't think I'm gonna
play it.
And
we'll talk about it next week.
That way. I don't know if I'm gonna feel that well. I might not feel well next week.
Maybe you won't feel well. You never even know.
What if I'm dead?
Should we talk about?
I guess I wouldn't be feeling well.
I doubt you will be. I doubt you.
Don't fucking jinx it, Fred. Don't fucking jinx it.
Should we talk about Billy Mitchell quickly? Because Billy fucking Mitchell. Billy fucking Mitchell.
Billy fucking Mitchell. Billy fucking Mitchell.
Mitch Mitchell.
See that? I tried to do like
so.
Little thing.
Billy basically Mitchell. his scores were pulled from Twin Galaxies.
Well, explain who Billy Mitchell is.
Billy
real quick.
Mitchell.
He came to popularity in the 80s.
Yeah, he got the super crazy Donkey Kong scores and Pac-Man.
He got that Donkey Kong ass.
He was the first person to beat Pac-Man, correct?
Oh, I don't know that. I didn't do that much research for this.
Oh. Well, anyway,
I guess I shouldn't have looked him up. I mean, like, I know of him. I know of all the records.
Well, there was a
quote unquote had.
There was a great little documentary in 2011?
2007.
2007? Oh, that was a while ago.
Yeah, King of Kong.
Yeah, King of Kong.
King of Kong. What was the tagline for it? King or the subtitle for it? King of Kong. Penny for a quarter or something? Penny full of
pocket full of quarters.
King of Kong.
It doesn't. So
King of
it
Kong
follows
fistful of quarters. I fucking knew there was something to it.
It follows Steve Wiebe, who's trying to beat the high score at the time.
He's trying to break Billy Mitchell's record. Yes,
and he breaks Billy Mitchell's record, but then immediately after, Billy Mitchell breaks the record again and beats him, and then he's crushed because he just spent a shit ton of time getting great at this game.
Right, and when Billy Mitchell also was at that time the first person to get to over 1 million points on a Donkey Kong machine in recorded history.
Right.
And that's the big deal with this. So essentially what happened was, and I will preface this with it's letting everyone know, King of Kong Fistful of Quarters was from everything I've seen, behind the scenes and interviews and things, it was a very biased documentary to be here's the story we want to tell. But a lot of documentaries do that. So they portrayed Billy Mitchell in a very negative light. I'm sure the guy might be a fucking prick. I don't know.
I don't know.
But I don't know either. I did hear that at one point, while they were filming all that stuff, he took Steve Wiebe out to dinner and paid for it. So the fact that they made him seem like he was completely just didn't even want to talk to him, wouldn't be even in the same room with him because he was trying to break his record. That's I don't know how true that really is.
Debate,
all I know.
Well, he had a response to all of this, and he said that
we didn't even say what the fuck happened. Sorry, he got caught cheating. With all the evidence that he had submitted for Donkey Kong record and hitting that, I think he had the record. It was 1,000,006. I made that up, but it's over 1 million. It's 1,064,000 something. But essentially, what happened was they say that the way the panels loaded on the original cabinet was different than from what it's shown in his record video that he submitted to Twin Galaxies. What it loads like in Billy Mitchell's video that he sent over loads like a modded version of Donkey Kong, which means he could have cheated. I'm not saying he did, but definitely they're saying it's not the original cabinet. Therefore, goes against Twin Galaxies' policy that it has to be on the original hardware and cabinet. And therefore, and there's a lot of shady videos out there talking about how he had filmed something saying he was going to beat one he was going to be Donkey Kong and then switch the cabinet out or switch the board out to be Donkey Kong Jr. But when you actually look at the film, it is the same exact. If you look at the board, it's the same exact board, which is kind of like, why would you even lie about that? That's a weird thing to film and lie about. So the guy's been kind of shady for a while, and then this just kind of proves it that the way that everything loads, it's fucking cheating from the standpoint of Twin Galaxies record keeping. So therefore, he is stripped of all of his records. He is no longer able to submit any future records, and I believe his Guinness Book of World Records are being taken away as well.
Pretty crazy.
You talk about his. You talk about, I guess, about his response.
Oh, so he was just
this past
all
weekend.
He said was that everything was done in accordance with their policies. So I don't know.
He said he was going to prove it.
Yeah, he said he was going to prove it somehow. Whether that happens, I guess we'll see. It was worth a little mention. Just a little bit of.
Yeah, that's like pretty big gaming news.
Yeah.
It's not as big as like finding the ET Atari fucking cartridges.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Man, can you imagine if we were podcasting back then when they found that shit?
Yeah.
Fucking world of gaming would have blown up. Although I guess it happened and it didn't blow up.
Yeah.
Fuck. I went back in time in my head and realized what actually occurred. I'm a fucking idiot. Billy Mitchell, whatever. You might be a dick. You might not be.
Don't.
With your stupid fucking
all right.
American flags. Ties. Every fucking time I see
We got
American flag tie.
We got to move on. Okay.
So we're done with Billy Mitchell. Speaking of Billy Mitchell,
why still?
Now we can go into voice actors because Billy Mitchell was voiced by an actor at one point on an Adult Swim show, which he then sued Adult Swim for.
He sued them
and lost.
Oh,
he lost that court case.
Okay, probably because it was parody.
Sorry,
right?
Billy.
Well,
exactly.
Okay, so yeah, this was a topic.
Oh, is that why porn parodies don't have issues?
Yeah.
Because they're saying this is like
law.
This is not Looney Tunes or XXX. That's what they're saying. I'm not saying that was. I've never.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay.
So this next topic is in response to a topic that the Kind of Funny Games cast was talking about, because I think one of their listeners had sent in a comment asking them what they thought about putting the voice actors of video games on the covers of the games, like putting them front and center, and giving them that sort of credit like they do in movies. And the only reason I'm talking about this is not to like copy their topic. That's not what it is. It's just I was about to say we're fucking like 9 episodes into our podcast. Are we now having to look for topics from other podcasts? No, that's absolutely not what I'm doing. The reason I'm bringing it up is because I disagreed with like what their response to that was. And maybe you listen to Kind of Funny Games cast, maybe you don't. Maybe you will now. And maybe
I mean nothing against those guys. If we have a different opinion, that's fine. They do great shit over there.
They absolutely do. I love those guys. But I just want to make it more of a conversation because they were kind of on the fence.
Fuck, did we literally, I mean, we're not a real competitor to them, but we just were like, yeah, go listen to this fucking
go
podcast.
listen
Why
to
would you listen to us? Go listen to them.
Hey.
Which I actually would say, yes, that's fine.
Yeah.
But also listen to us because we have to feel good about ourselves,
exactly.
too.
So
sorry I'm interrupting.
It's fine. So basically what the sense that I got from them was that they don't really think it's necessary, and they also, like, one of their reasons was, they like the voice actor from a specific game, and it was like a great game, and they loved the dude's performance, but he also voice acted in a different game, and that game is not in a genre that they would play, and they're just totally not interested in that. And like that voice actor being in that game and having his, name on the cover is not going to like sway them at all. And I think that's just kind of like not the point of it. I think, when Robin Williams is in a comedy and then Robin Williams is in a dramatic role, they don't not put his face on it because it's a different role and maybe somebody's not interested in that. And I just thought some of their reasons weren't like, I don't know. They weren't. I
agree. I feel I know what you're fucking saying.
I just don't think.
So
they're
my
relevant.
thing is, I had mentioned this to you, was a fucking somebody on like a movie. You're telling me that indie movies that have a big name actor like, I don't know.
Or
why
a
did I choose
small
Clive
name
Owen?
actor.
In my mind, I was saying, but what I'm saying is Clive Owen, if he's in why the fuck do I keep saying Clive Owen? Let's use a bigger name actor in 2018. What the fuck am I doing? The fucking Dwayne Johnson, okay? Dwayne Johnson or Robert Downey Jr., if they're in a smaller movie, you don't think those fucking people on the poster, the marketing team, is going to not put their name on it? If they're a lead role in a smaller movie, of course. So it doesn't matter that a game that might be a puzzle game will have Troy Baker's name in it. If he voiced an actor in there, or it should be one of the main actors. I would say that.
Right.
Like, don't get too fucking weird with it. But I mean, there's some really well-known game actors, and I feel like there would be more if you actually put their name on there. Yeah. And a couple I could come to mind, Troy Baker, obviously. He's been in so many, including what I fell in love with him was BioShock Infinite. He was great in that. There's the character that played Solid Snake for so long, David Hayter. But then remember when Kiefer Sutherland took over? That was kind of a big deal. That was something on, he played, Kiefer Sutherland voiced Big Boss on Phantom Pain.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, well, but I mean, and that would have been interesting if you did know it.
Was
I
on
knew
the
about
cover.
it because I was following it.
Well,
but that's kind of cool.
My point is...
Well, and then Nolan North was the other one I was going to say. Just because he did Nathan Drake. Although I should mention a female voice actor, not to be a fucking chauvinist. Jen Taylor is very, very popular for voicing Cortana from the Halo series.
You know your voices.
I try.
You try.
I'm a big fan of voice actors. Like, they work their ass off. And nowadays, there's a lot of motion capture in some of those.
Yeah, and
actors.
they're actually acting just like as they would in a film, except they're rendered in 3D. That's the only difference.
Put them on the fucking on the cover. I'm okay with that. I have no problem.
And even if and this was another thing, they're saying, well, no one's gonna notice or care about a no-name actor's name being on. Well, the same argument can be made. There are no-name actors who are in blockbuster movies all the time, who are brand new to the scene, and their name is still on the movie. So this was. I wanted to mention this as a conversational thing. I think that it would be a great thing. I think there are way more positives than negatives, and I think you can draw a completely the same parallel with movies as you can with video games if you just allow yourself to.
Think about it like this. In movies, it's like the fact that we know so many developers or heads of studios that are just, or even the heads of publishing studios and stuff like that. Publishing,
like Kojima and designers.
Exactly. So the fact that we know them and not the actors is essentially like saying we know the director of a movie and we know, say, Warner Brothers. Yeah. Producer. We know the owner of Warner Brothers.
We know Steven Spielberg, but the actors are like nameless.
You need to put the actors on there because they're there. They're the life force behind the immersion. If you ask me, yes, the aesthetics, the graphics, everything they're doing, the direction is part of the immersion, but just as equal as the fucking actors, the motion captured actors, as well as the voice actors, and maybe they're one and the same. That's how I feel.
That's the same.
Nothing against Kind of Funny, but we have a different thing. And you know what should be the next sound to our next section is me pouring a glass of wine. Check it out. It's like
this next segment is going to be our E3 predictions.
I was trying, sorry.
For
Nintendo Switch. ... in small font 3DS. And 3DS. Anyhow.
You want to kick it off, or you need to take a sip there, and I'll start.
Maybe I'll take a sip and kick it off at the same time. What do you think about
Go
that?
ahead.
Muchacho.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'll go through a prediction. You go through. I have 3 predictions.
All right. I have
2
kind
of them
of
are
one
fucking
big
gimmies. One. Okay. Well, 2 of them are really big anyway, and really popular around. Like,
go.
I just combined around and among into one word. I'm just gonna start with it. They're popular rumors, so it's not like I didn't fucking pull it out of my ass in a way that I'm thinking that they're gonna come out with Crash Bandicoot crosses, Sonic Mania crosses, Mario Odyssey crosses, Battletoads.
Okay.
I can tell you that's not going to be on the fucking E3.
I can tell you they're not going to come out with a Nintendo Dreamcast.
You're right. Yeah, they're not going to do that. And the fact that you just talked over my big reveal Ruined it. God damn it. Metroid Prime 4 was what I was saying.
They've already announced that.
Sorry, they're fuck. I know they revealed it. I want to see gameplay. They're gonna